The last but not the least speaker for this international webinar is Dr. Muhammad Abdul Hannan, Professor and Chairman, Department of Law, University of Rajshahi, Bangladesh. Please, sir.
In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Welcome to the international webinar on COVID-19, a paradigm shift in quality teaching, learning, problem and prospects. Organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell, IQAC, Kaliachak College of Sultanganj, Malda, West Bengal, India. Respected Chair of the webinar, Dr. Najibur Rahman, the Principal of the Kaliachak College, Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Chanchal Chaudhary, the Vice Chancellor of University of Gaurbanga, Honorable Keynote Speaker, resource persons, and my dear participants. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Welcome to this session of the auspicious webinar in the situation of pandemic as the COVID-19. To face the pandemic, it's a big challenge to the nation. At present, I would like to discuss the webinar on the COVID-19 challenges for education sector, how they can be overcome the failings of the ensuring equalities of technological advancement. Dear participants, it is a big challenge for the nation to maintain the education for all. The world today is facing pandemic as the COVID-19 is sweeping its way around the globe, and its impact is only beginning to be visible. The outbreak has brought in many deaths, thousands have been quarantined, and has led a serious direction of global health emergency. This has sanctioned a complete shutdown of all the educational institutions along with other business institutions. The shutdown of the education institutions has led to many doubt among the students and teaching. In the package of educational challenges, there are many stages. The challenges, opportunities, right to education, and infrastructural development in the education sector. I would like to discuss first the challenges of the COVID-19. At first, as the global coronavirus pandemic opens up an entirely new set of challenges for the education system, we are seeing just how important it is to build a more adaptable and inclusive approach to the learning. Maintaining the engagement of the children, particularly young secondary or higher secondary students, in the critical moment. The challenges today is to reduce as much as possible the negative impact of this pandemic will have in learning and schooling, and build on the experience to get back on a path faster improvement in learning. There are so many opportunities and challenges as well in education due to COVID-19. COVID-19 is reviving the need of explore online teachings and learning opportunities in rural and urban areas and backgrounds. Due to the availability of internet and absence of information and smart class presentation, online education has started to become popular among the people. However, there are many issues and challenges for online education sector while coping with COVID-19, such as technological equipment, high-speed internet connectivity, difficulties staying in contact with instructors, high chances of distraction, no social interaction, and the cost of the education. Technological equipment is the most important tool for the internet-based education, because there are so many students that lived in the rural area. They become the poorer students, so they have no internet facilities like the smartphone or the internet connectivity. So it is a big problem for the student of higher education. The main challenges was to access the students' access to internet connectivity, especially the students from rural and background classes. The students who are expected to have a smartphone with a 4G compatibility to enable streaming of the live teaching. Good mobile phone, computer, laptop or desktop are necessary for ensuring education during these periods of COVID-19. The challenges was to have good internet connectivity even in urban areas to avoid buffering and logging of the live stream. This can happen when internet connection speed is inadequate to accommodate the encoder's breadth, or if there is excess load on the server which will make the application to crash. My dear participants, another more important challenges in the live streaming focuses only on the theoretical imparting of the subjects without actual use of the laboratory, as the technical education is more practical based. Then I would like to discuss about the right to education. Right to education is the most important part of our human rights, because education has been considered a human right through the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948. Its Article 26, Subarticle 1 states, everyone has the right to education, and education shall be free at least in the elementary and fundamental stages. So this is the universal rights of the human being, right to have education. Article 13 of the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, 1966. It is called ICESCR. It provides that the state parties to the present covenant recognize the right of everyone to education. Education is also a right of children, and it is a duty of the states to ensure primary education according to the Article 28 of the Convention of the Rights of the Child, 1989. The 18th Amendment of the the 86th Amendment of the Constitution of India, adopted in 2002, provides for free and compulsory education for all children from 6 to 14 and recognizes the same as the fundamental right. Article 14, Section 1 of the 1987 Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines provides that the state that protect and promote the right of all citizens to equal education. But in the question to ask, does the Constitution of Bangladesh recognize education as the right? The plain answer is no. Article 17 of the Constitution of Bangladesh mentions free and compulsory education. It articulates that the state shall adopt effective measures for the purpose of establishing an uniform, mass-oriented, and universal system of education. It extended free and compulsory education to all children to such stage as may be determined by law. However, Article 17 is a fundamental principle, but not a fundamental right for the children of and citizens of Bangladesh. Hence, the government of Bangladesh holds no strict accountability regarding this issue. So, the right to education must be the fundamental rights of the citizen, because it's an important right for being a good citizen of the country. There are so many essential things for the effectiveness of the internet-based education in higher level. Number one, the infrastructure development in education sector. In not only schools, but also in higher educational institutions as well as infrastructural development is one important aspect that needs to be taken into account. The term infrastructure is comprehensive and there are a number of aspects that are included in the infrastructural development. This includes playgrounds, library facilities, laboratories, computer centers and technologies, machineries, tools, equipment, and so forth. The members of the educational institutions need to invest resources to bring about improvements in infrastructure. When developments will take places in infrastructure, then the individuals will be able to carry out their job duties in an appropriate manner and lead the progression of educational institutions. And after that, it is necessary to have the feedback and evaluation of the education system. Online learning is here to stay. Hundreds of universities continuing educating institutions and countless commercial organizations are turning to learning for very valid reasons. For ensuring proper online education, some measures should be noticeable. They are the time-specific live chat as proper online schedule, launching common discussion forum so that everyone can see and find the solution. Lectures will slides with helpful and more focus to learners, counseling and facilitating time-specific personal tutors, designing tools for maintaining study motivation. After all these steps can reduce disadvantages of online education and overcome the failings of ensuring equalities of technological advancement. An effective online learning environment should be discussed. Online learning has experienced rapid growth over the past decade. Numerous factors may influence the quality of online instruction. One of these is the learning environment, which plays a significant role in students' learning. Physical, social, cultural, and psychological factors of a learning environment have an effect on student learning. In short, when students deem the learning environment as safe, inviting, and supportive, they are encouraged, they are engaged in the learning, and the experience is more enjoyable. The criteria of effective online learning environment. Dear audience, there are similarities and differences between classroom-based instruction and online instruction. This is true for their respective learning environments as well. For instance, an online instructor has little control over the physical environment, as he or she would in classroom-based instruction. Similar to the classroom-based learning environment, an effective online learning environment should meet the following criteria. Number one, the safe instruction situation. Those instructions should be established safe online learning environments for the students. Without face-to-face communication, students do not know who is also participating in the the conversation for continued participation. Supportive. The environment should be supportive to the students as well as the instructors. It is necessary to establish a supportive climate for online instruction for the students. Interactive. The teaching learning must be interactive among the students and the teachers, flexible and encouraging and engaging. Always, teachers should engage the students in some task. Assessment and feedback. Assessment is part of the learning experience and should match learning outcomes as well as instructional strategies. This ensures that students will be measured on their performance in ways similar to how they have learned, which is not only fair but also helps ease anxiety in the students. Finally, we can say that online learning is an excellent educational option that offers convenience, reduced costs, and a personalized experience. In spite of there are extra benefits to online learning for the environment. Online learning education reduces the negative environmental impact that come from manufacturing and transportation. Here are 4 more things you will save by choosing on learning, GIS, population, natural resources and papers. However, countries like Bangladesh and India is still not prepared for run full phase online learning. Some individuals are more affected than others, and the crisis in hitting the most vulnerable groups the hardest: people with disabilities, ethnic minorities, and rural communities. This is especially true in educational institutions where staff are having to experiment with remote teaching. Most of the students of the higher education also in the rural area, for developing countries like the India and Bangladesh that are trying to contribute to the global economy. E-learning represents the perfect opportunity to give everyone a chance to learn and adapt. There might be some obstacles that these developing nations are not yet ready to overcome, but progress is being made at the moment. It is necessary to disseminate the e-learning or online education to the all as much as possible. Very many thanks to all for patient hearings. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing with us your vast knowledge